I evo nas natrag. Sada slijedi jedan neobičan panel. Posljednjih 5 godina na Bug Future Showu predstavljali smo učitelje-heroje. One koji su u zastarjelom sustavu pomoću tehnologija učenje učinili zabavnim, zanimljivim. Sad smo malo proširili svoju viziju. Pa će suosnivač algebre i veteran hrvatske teh scene Hrvoje Balen predstaviti studente-heroje. I da, istina je, imamo poražavajući popis stanovništva. Istina je da svake godine na ljeto ostane 13.000 praznih mjesta na fakultetima, ali s druge strane imamo jedne divne ljude koji žele doći u Hrvatsku, žele ovdje studirati, žele ovdje raditi i ostati s nama. Hrvoje zna više o njima, pa njemu prepuštam palicu.
Hvala Jelena.
Hvala.
Lijepo je naći u ovakvom okruženju. Lijepi pozdrav svim našim gledateljima koji nas prate kroz virtualne kanale. Meni je kao i svake godine velika čast, veliko zadovoljstvo dovesti takozvane heroje. Nekad su to bili učitelji, danas pričamo o studentima heroja. Zašto pričamo o studentima herojima? Jer, kao što je rekla Jelena, popis stanovništva nam je pokazao da nas ima svake godine sve manje, da kompanije iz dana u dan sve više muku muče sa pronalaskom ljudi, a i nama je sve teže zadržati neke ljude ovdje. Međutim, kao nekakva strategija koja se nameće u svakom slučaju tom demografskom problemu jest kako privući mlade ljude da svoju karijeru, svoj posao, svoje studije pronađu ovdje u Hrvatskoj, ne samo u zemlji sporta, turizma, mora, sunca ili nekada rata, nego i nekih drugih zanimljivih puno stvari. Zato sam danas doveo ovdje studente-heroje, ljude koji su došli iz raznih dijelova svijeta, da provedu ovdje svoje najbolje studijske godine, ali da ih mi pokušamo nagovoriti da s nama i ostanu ovdje nakon završetka svojih studija. Pa ću ja predstaviti njih, ali zapravo ću možda zamoliti njih ipak da se predstave. Now I'll switch to English for you to better understand a little bit more what we were talking about. And thank you very much for coming here. I know that some of you are coming from Varaždin, some people from Osijek, some from Zagreb, some of you coming from work. Actually, some of you are already working here in Croatia. And please, can we start with the introductions? So maybe I'll start from the right side. Ladies first. So on my right side is Katerina.
Katerina Leles. Hello, thank you very much for having me here. I'm from Ukraine. I live in Croatia for already 5 years. I am a recent graduate of Algebra University College. I finished data science, and I'm working in Zagreb for already 2 years as full-time data scientist.
Great, you're working in Croatian Telecom.
In Croatian Telecom, right.
Okay, we can say Croatian Telecom because they are partner of this event also. And next, Bridget.
Hi all. My name is Bridget Ngugi. I'm from Kenya originally. I came here, I think, I was telling them like 20 days from now, it will be 2 years. I'm still studying at Algebra University. Algebra is a Croatian accent. So Algebra University College. It's been a good experience. And I'm working part-time as a student here at Amplexar. And I'm a junior developer consultant,
So you're studying software engineering?
Yes,
okay.
Software engineering.
Then go back to the right-hand side. With us here is Jago.
Hello, my name is Jago Reed.
Jago. Okay,
Jago Reed, yeah. I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa. I've been here for around 9 months. And I'm studying at Fair University, Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Computing. And not much else to say about that.
Okay, you'll talk a little bit later. And then on my left-hand side, last but not least.
Well, thank you. And thank you for having me. I'm Pedro. I'm from Porto, Portugal. And I'm studying at the Faculty of Organization and Informatics in Varaždin.
In FOI. So,
at FOI, yes.
And you're doing which kind of, what course?
Informatics engineering.
Informatics engineering. Okay, great. So, first of all, let's talk about how did you decided to go to study abroad. So many young people are looking to go and study abroad. What was your idea about studying abroad? Katerina, maybe you can start.
Well, I moved from Ukraine when I was 17 years old to Poland, actually, to study a bachelor degree. And, I moved there with my sister, and we really wanted just international education, European education, because having Ukrainian education maybe would create more difficulties than to work in European Union or in any international companies. And I really wanted to have education in English language. So I spent 3 years in Poland studying business, and then I came to Croatia as Erasmus student, actually to Rijeka, firstly, and I stayed there for 2 semesters, and then I decided to stay completely in Rijeka, or in Croatia.
So Erasmus actually helped
Yeah.
you to uncover Croatia.
Yeah.
Okay, Jago, what about you? How did you come to Croatia?
Well,
How did you actually decide to go abroad?
Yeah.
To study abroad?
yeah, so I could have gone here or the UK. Ultimately, I decided here, obviously, for a number of factors. Predominantly, I find it more interesting than the UK, and it's a fair bit cheaper. The cost of living is a lot lower, and yeah, that's about it. Cost of living is a lot cheaper. I believe it's a very beautiful country. There's a lot to see. You know, you have Dalmatia, you have Slavonia, you know, you have the Plitvice National Lakes, whatever. You have a lot of beautiful things here, and it's yeah.
But actually, you came here for tourism. First of all, you were sightseeing Croatia.
Yeah.
And then there was some secret ingredient that
Oh yes.
attracted you here.
There was some young Croatian ladies in Zagreb,
Okay.
indeed, that may or may not have been a factor.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Did she force you to stay here, or
Yes.
you just chose it?
Against my will, yeah.
It was against your will.
Yeah.
Okay. Pedro.
So, okay, I'm here actually. I forgot to mention that I'm here on Erasmus,
All right.
and
We hope you'll stay for more.
trying to. We'll see if I can. I would love to stay for more. I definitely would, especially in Varaždin. Love that city.
Okay.
But I came here originally. I had a lot of friends who had been here for their Erasmus experiences, and the consensus was and is and will be, if I return, will remain, so that the younger generation, at least, because that's the people we hang out the most with. They're really fun in Croatia. Like, they're really fun, they're really nice and welcoming, and I wanted somewhere where I would feel accepted and cherished.
Well, actually, it's much easier for you because you come from the European Union. It's much easier for you to come here, to stay here, to
I
be
just learned that,
to be accepted.
actually.
Yeah. But Bridget, you came from Kenya.
Yes.
And we don't have these years, so maybe for the last 40 years, we didn't have many students from Kenya. Now the number of people who are interested is rising. How did you decide to go abroad? How did you find out something? That's very interesting. How did you find something about Croatia?
Yeah, first of all, my reason for studying abroad was I wanted a program that was more practical oriented. In my Kenyan schools, the options that I had in Kenya, the knowledge for software development was more like theoretical. We didn't have like applications for real life problems. Here in algebra, like by the end of the semester, instead of doing an exam, you actually do a project. So this way you don't have to cram like facts and remember that this stands here. You just need to know how to apply a particular concept. So that was like fantastic for me. But then I was telling the guys that when I was choosing to come to Croatia, I literally found it on a reality TV, literally.
So you found algebra on reality TV?
Okay, not algebra, Croatia. Then from Croatia, I started looking for options because I had a financial budget, of course. So my financial budget was only covered by algebra. And like compared to other European countries, it's significantly cheaper. It's like I was telling you, like it's a diamond in the rough. It's a hidden gem that somehow everybody should know about. Croatia is amazing. It's cheap cost of living. Like I was comparing, when I came here initially, I used to convert everything into Kenyan money, like Kenya shillings. We call them Kenya shillings, yeah. So I was converting everything into shillings. And surprisingly, like buying potatoes is the same price as buying...
Like in Kenya? Well, that's an interesting fact for our viewers also.
It was amazing, yeah. So if you need to eat, you'll eat. Maybe the other stuff is, the optional stuff will be a bit steeper, but in general, cost of living compared to other European countries, Croatia rocks.
Great. Pedro, you want to say something also?
I wanted to ask, what reality TV show led you to Croatia?
Yes, they were trying to look for a vacation spot, and somehow they did the spin the wheel, and it landed on Croatia, and they went to Dubrovnik.
And you were like,
oh, really?
Yeah, that's it.
And then I saw these beaches, and they were like awesome. They were like beautiful, sandy beaches, and they're not crowded. I'm from a country where we have 40 million people. So seeing some place that is not crowded, that's like a miracle. So I saw a beach that's gorgeous.
You love Varaždin.
Zagreb
No
is
beaches,
plenty. No, Zagreb is plenty sparse. Like
Jago,
there's barely nobody.
So you are both from Africa. We're expecting also our colleague from Egypt, but he wasn't able to come because he has a lot of job. He works in Split now. He was also our student at the graduate study of digital marketing. But Jago, when somebody said Croatia, what was on your mind? I'm sure it's not fair or algebra or studying here. Something else was on your mind.
Well, you know, I've actually been interested in Croatia for a while. Me and my friends were quite fascinated by Eastern European culture. And that kind of led me to Croatia because it's kind of a mix between Italian, Austrian, Eastern Slavic cultures. So it was a kind of a decent place, if that makes sense. Like as a mix of all those cultures. And then as it turns out, it's in the European Union. And yeah, that's what led me to Croatia initially. It was just interest. Me and my friends were very interested. For example, I know you don't want to speak about this, but the Yugoslav wars was another aspect that we were quite fascinated by. And yeah, so I just ended up here.
And what did you find here? So that was the idea of Croatia you had. I think about Eastern European countries, the heritage, legacy, the sea. And what did you find here? Was it true or not?
Well, I was actually quite surprised by how sophisticated the country is. Because you would expect, you know, recently war-torn Eastern European country, you'd expect it to be boom, big commie blocks and all that sort of stuff. But it's actually not anything like that. It's very, very culturally sophisticated and diverse. And everywhere you go, I believe there's many different dialects in Croatia. Every town has a different dialect. There's so many things to see architecturally, culturally, in terms of natural beauty. I mean, yeah.
Could you find yourself staying here, maybe?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, great.
I think that's probably what's going to happen.
That's a great, because this is the idea why I gathered you here, to try to convince you to stay here as a future specialist and future highly educated person. Katerina, with whom do you hang out when you are here in the free time? So you had a specific way through your studies, and then so can you explain a little bit about that?
You want to say the reason why I actually stayed in Croatia?
No.
So, well, I came to Rijeka firstly, and I was amazed how Croatian people were so welcoming. You know, the whole environment of Croatian people, international students in Rijeka, was fascinating for me.
But you didn't have any relatives here in Croatia?
No.
Okay, great.
Well, I didn't know much about Croatia. I knew that it's a touristic destination for people from Ukraine, but I was never actually planning on staying here. But after the year in Croatia, I fell in love with culture, with language. I felt very secure here, and I think this is the main reason why I stayed here. Well, I hang out mostly currently with Croatian people because I live in Croatia for already 5 years, with my colleagues at work, you know, and I love Croatian people, you know, the culture, the language, and I think they're very open towards foreigners. And I feel very comfortable in this country, I must say.
Bridget, what would you say? So you came from a different part of the world?
Yes.
You never had a contact with Croatians, or I think you just said that you have first contact with Europe at all.
Yes, this was like my first introduction. I was like, quote unquote, white man's world. This was my first contact, because every other country I traveled to was still in Africa. So it was like a new experience for me. And the one thing that seems very simple, but for some reason was really hard for me, was like, you people drive on the right. We drive on the left. Every time I want to take a tram, I used to be on the opposite direction. I need a tram going to this direction, I'll be there to a tram going that side. Because in my head, everything is still on the left side. So like, it's so weird. Like for her, I can totally relate that she had nobody here and somehow everything became amazing. I came here and 2 weeks later, it was a lockdown. The day I got here at 7 a.m. and at 10 a.m., there was the first case of corona in Croatia. So it was like trying times, but for sure I can say that I met some amazing people. Like her, I hang out with, initially I didn't hang out with Croatian people because I didn't have a chance to meet them. I was here 2 weeks in lockdown. The only people I had interactions with were like Erasmus people. But now I've gotten to know more Croatian people. I've been trying out cuisines. I honestly do like Croatian cuisine now. At first it was a little wonky. There's a Croatian, I don't know what you call it, like shunka, that looks like almost like a pineapple for Easter.
It looks like a pineapple,
A pineapple. I don't know what it's called.
but
for
it's not
Easter.
shunka.
What is it?
I don't know.
It's ham. It's ham. Somebody said so. Somebody said the word. Yeah, that thing was the first thing I ate. I didn't specifically like it. I had it in 2020, but I didn't like it. But I like octopus. I've had octopus. At first, I didn't think I would like it, but I loved it.
But with whom do you hang out now these days when it's not a lockdown anymore?
Mostly when I'm playing sports, it will be mostly with Erasmus students because we get out. I like playing sports, and Erasmus people, we have a group of people that we hang out with for sports activities and going out. I have my work friends who have become like friends to die for, like do or die friends. They even help me the police station and everything, like do or die. And then I have friends I met from the gym, from school. Basically, I'm wide-ranged and I love my experience. But most of the people, 3/4 are gonna be Croatian and like a quarter is gonna be international.
International students.
Yes.
Would you agree that you also feel here safe, or did you have any
Definitely.
trouble?
Like compared to Kenya, in Nairobi, it's very crowded. It's 4 million people in one city. Compared to here, that's less than the entire country. The fact that it's sparse makes it a bit safer, and I can feel safe when I'm coming home at 10 p.m. in the evening. I'm a lady walking alone in the street. I live alone, but I don't feel the urge to like carry secretly a bat or a rock of something to hit like gangsters who come to rob you. So definitely it's a safe destination for me, I would say so.
Okay, I was trying to ask you one question, very important. What were the, let's say, 3 to 5 some disadvantages of staying maybe in Croatia? Did you have any problem with the administration? Maybe I won't ask you, Pedro, because you come from the European Union, so I'm not sure that you have had any trouble.
Yeah, I was very lucky. Everything was very straightforward for me. Like, we were chatting before, and I guess
You went very
I am
smooth.
privileged. I have to acknowledge that I am
yes, you are.
privileged. Like,
How about you, Katarina? Did you have any trouble with the administration before coming here to Croatia? Was it hard to get the visa or residence permit or enroll to the studies?
Well, enrolling in Algebra University was actually quite easy because I had education, I had bachelor degree from Poland, and international office really helped a lot with all administration, and we went through all bureaucracy together with Algebra University. Currently, I must say, I still applying every year for resident permit, and this year, for example, I applied in September and I still did not get my residence permit. So I'm in Croatia for 5 years already. I'm also married here and I have a full-time... Yeah, the reason why I stayed, you know, found a guy, found a husband, yeah, and so I'm married for almost 4 years already. You know, so married, I have a full-time job contract for 2 years already, and still every year I need to apply for permanent residence. And right now I'm waiting for this for already 4 to 5 months, and I cannot get, you know, the bank account even. Without the residence permit, you know, I cannot drive my car without this.
Okay, Bridget, you also came out of the European Union. Diego has one secret. I'll reveal it a little bit later.
Yeah, mine was, like Hershey said, the international office was amazing. Mine was a terrific, like a horrible situation for administration-wise, because I had to, there's no Croatian embassy in Kenya. So I had to travel to either Nigeria. My options was either to go to Algeria, Nigeria, or South Africa to apply for one. So I just chose the most convenient one for me, and that was South Africa. For me, I felt like it was so hurtful because I live like 20 minutes next to Nairobi, and there's a variety of embassies there. So it was like so painful for me to just, I had to apply for a South African visa. Luckily, those ones are easier to get. And then I go to South Africa with no assurances. Just spend money, go there, then apply again. And once I apply for that, I just wait around for 14 days in South Africa. I find whatever to do. Luckily, I'm an adventurous spirit, so I just went traveling. I went to Pretoria. I enjoyed myself in Pretoria, then went to Cape Town, and then waited for 14 days till I got my visa.
But actually, you needed visa to get the visa.
I need a visa to get a visa. Then when I get here, I only have 3 days to report to the police station. I didn't even know how to get to the police station, and I'm given 3 days. I felt like the bureaucracy is a bit stiff, because I should have, like, say my visa was only 1 month. So that was not like, for me, I felt it was a lot of restraint because I didn't even have time to like find myself here before everything started.
Definitely. Django, did you have any trouble coming to Croatia or not?
You know, we talked about how there's a bunch of pros to Croatia. And definitely one of the largest cons is the tiresome bureaucracy. I think everyone knows this in the country. Even for Croatian citizens, it's quite difficult. You know, the amount of red tape surrounding certain things, and to immigrate is definitely difficult. But you can get around it especially if you know people. If you can make a friend who speaks Croatian, your life will be a million times easier.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're gonna have to speak to some old bakas, and hopefully you end up in a good place. Yeah.
Well, the idea behind this conversation, of course, this panel is also the introduction to the negotiations we're going to have with the Croatian government, how to ease that, extending the visas, extending the residence permit, how to attract young people here, to make the user experience of you and your future college students to come here to Croatia much smoother than it is right now. So we have a problem with digitalization. I was talking earlier, for instance, like United Kingdom has introduced a completely digital procedure for applying for visa, not just applying for visa, but also checking your ID and your passports using the mobile apps. So you can scan your passport, and then you can scan your biometrics and make a photo of yourself and then apply for the visa, which is much more easier. And then in Croatian case, you have to send the documents in a paper way, so via snail mail. They had to be sent via snail mail from one embassy to the another, from the ministry to one ministry to the other. So I hope you and us, so that our institutions will help government also to make a better procedure for attracting students. Why I'm saying that is because Croatia has only 2,500 students, foreign students here. Only 2,500 students out of 166,000. So it's not a large proportion, and we need you. And I always say I thank you for coming here on behalf of also Algebra, but also FOI, FAIR, and all the companies I see here are seeking for young people. Actually, Bridget, we almost found you a job right now, huh?
Right there.
Right here at Bug Future Showu.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay. What did your parents tell you when you told them that you are going to Croatia, Pedro? Maybe you can say something about it.
Well, to be honest, they weren't very keen on the idea of me traveling anywhere, because they weren't sure I would survive on my own anywhere. But and I had some previous travel experience, not go completely according to plan. And so, and Portuguese parents are very protective, you know. And so they were a bit scared. But I managed to calm their fears, and because in my particular friend group, Croatia had such a good reputation. A lot of my friends.
Is it also tourism, sport, or anything else? When you say reputation of Croatia, what comes first on your mind, or on the mind of your parents and friends?
So, in the mind of my friends, it's mostly partying, which is something
okay,
that,
great.
I must say, you keep your parties very nice here, but more than, like, to me nowadays, it's mainly the people. Like, I think on average, the average Croatian person is much more friendly, or much friendlier and much nicer and approachable than just about any other country I've ever been. And yeah, that's a very valuable asset, you know. I feel like, and when I first got to Varaždin, I noticed, and this was weird, like everyone knew us, or either knew us or wanted to get to know us, and making friends, and talking about what Django was saying earlier. So apologies, man. I call him Django, but let's skip past that. So making friends here is like, I basically have I just need to speak English for like 5 minutes, and someone will come walking by, will start speaking English to me, and we'll be friends.
It's like in New York, can I help you? When you open the map, somebody will approach and say, can I help you?
Can I help you? Is like So, the first question that everyone asks is, why are you here? Like, why not?
Why not? That's good.
Why not? It's very cool.
That's great. Well, tell me, some of you, how did you find any information? Maybe Katarina, again, you. How did you find the information about studying in Croatia?
Well, I was looking for English degree study programs, and then I found out about algebra, and that they also offered a data science course for people who did not have IT background. That was a perfect situation for me, so I could have some couple of months, some courses in programming
bridge
language.
program.
Yeah, and then I could apply to data science master degree in English without having a bachelor in computer engineering. That was great.
Okay. Jago, how about you? Where did you find the information? Can you reveal us? Now you can reveal us your secret.
My secret?
Yeah.
Yes. My mother's Croatian, so I have...
But she was born in South Africa.
She was born in South Africa, yes. So
Okay.
I have some ties to Croatia. I learned about Fair University from a friend. That's about it. It's a very nepotistic country, I believe. Like you have to hear something from someone to know what to do, for the most part. And yeah, I heard about Fair and I applied. And 2 weeks later, I got in. And then yeah, that's what happened. Just heard about it in a conversation at a bar. Yeah.
Great. And you have to say a few words great about Petra in international office.
Oh yes, the fantastic
Thank
person.
you, Petra.
Thank you, Petra. Greatest person I've ever met, indeed. Yeah.
Okay, what was the... Well, when we speak about it, so you told me so many nice things about Croatia, and I didn't know that, really. I live here for all my life, so I didn't know how Croats are so great. and
You really are, comparatively. I've traveled a bit, and I haven't met every culture in the world, but I mean, so far, like, on average, you're pretty great.
And I didn't pay him to say that. I really didn't pay him to say that.
But Croatian government, I could be up for some sponsoring deals if you want. Just hit me up.
Yeah, Bridget, you were mentioning something that a little something is missing when you were speaking about the
factor.
No, but just not about the but you said about scholarships also.
Oh yes. I was talking like
So you
even
said
in
many
Kenya.
foreign countries, many other countries are having special scholarship programs for foreign students.
Yes, but there's like zero options. I was like looking at them when I got here. I was looking into options because the best, like you said before, the best referrals are word of mouth. So like when I came here and I told people I'm having a good experience and I don't have the desire to go back home after a year, everybody was like, okay, how can we apply? Can we get scholarships? So I started looking into it, and there were no options for people who are from my country, from third world countries. You don't have options for scholarships. These are scholarships that even partial scholarships. It doesn't have to be full time, but even partial, just to help with the financial, the people with financial strains, but still want to go international. There was not that option for any of us. You either have the means to come here, or you find somebody who can help you to find the means to come here. And sometimes, because our currency is a bit weak, most of our money turns into millions when you try to pay for school. So when you tell somebody it will cost you millions to come here to school, it's a bit...
But you decided to work.
Yes,
you can
I
work
have to
according to
work.
the Act on Foreigners. You can, from that dates from 2019, you're allowed to work 20 hours a week. So you decided to work. Why?
Mostly because I cannot support myself and study without working. That was the main goal. Plus, at home, I used to work. So before, I had already finished my undergraduate bachelor's and taken like 2 years to work. So I'd been working and I'd gotten used to the system of working. So going back to studying for 4 hours a week, because at first we started with like 3 courses, that's like maximum 6 hours, and it's in the evening, like at 5 p.m. And I have nothing else to do all day. It didn't feel right for me, so working was the best experience. And like him, I had a really good experience. My first job, I was not even at Amplexer. I was a bartender in a small town called Donja Lomnica. It was a beautiful cafe. Everybody was friendly. Mostly people did come to see a black girl, but hey, whatever pays the bills, pays the bills. So it was really good. I didn't speak enough Croatian to even work there, but there's a lady who took 3 days. She taught me everything. She was like, this is how you make kava stoplim lijepo. kava s hladnom mlijekom, that's cold milk. I didn't even know that then. She taught me all the terms, how to mix up the drinks, and she was like, go with God. And people used to come sit like at the bar, and when I don't understand the word, like I remember the first time I heard pola liter. Oh, it was like Greek to me, like it was so hard.
Half a liter.
Half a liter. I didn't know then that. So
Okay.
it was like, I was like, molim. And then everybody started laughing around me, but then they helped me. Basically, that was my life for like 6 months. They were amazing and helping me like understand like the
Yeah.
main creation terms.
So when you're young, it's okay to take all the jobs if that's pay a bill, like you said.
Yes.
Anybody of you work when studying? Yes, you did.
I work. So I started working full time after the first year of my studying program, and I could manage that because algebra has classes in the evening, so from 5 to 10 p.m.
You can choose between full time and
Yeah.
then in the evening class. Okay.
Yeah, so I could really manage to work full time and provide for myself. And but the thing is that I could do this because I was married and I am. So I wish also other students would have this opportunity to actually work full time if they can manage to combine university and work. Of course, it's questionable, definitely. But I must say, from my experience, that really helped me because algebra is very practical university. So I apply everything that I was studying directly at my job, and that was perfect
And
combination.
who's your boss in Croatian Telecom? We have to ask that.
Well,
No, I'm just joking.
I mean, I can say names, of course.
No.
I can say hello to all my team. I'm sure they're
You
watching.
can say that hello to the team in Croatian Telecom. That would be great.
Yeah.
Regarding the Croatian tech scene, so we have a pretty strong. It's growing. The technological scene of the companies here in Croatia. We have 2 unicorns and many companies still growing on. Do you know anything about the Croatian technology scene? So companies working on things? Yeah, no.
A very interesting luxury electrical vehicle one. That's, I believe, one of the unicorns, right?
Yeah, it is. But you don't know the name, or you know?
I knew it like a couple of weeks ago, but has since slipped my mind. But
Jago
I heard it's
said-
a very nice place.
Rimac, right?
Rimac,
Yeah.
okay. Any other companies?
You know,
No, okay.
I was telling Bridget.
Jago,
I'm
do you know any
lazy.
company- any other
I'm
companies?
not trying to work right now.
Photomaths.
Sorry, what?
Photomaths. That's actually
Photomath,
from,
okay.
from my university, yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's great. Do you see your career further to develop in Croatia, to stay in Croatia? So you're already developing your career. Bridget, I know that you are developing your career also. How about you, Jago? Pedro?
I'm first year, man.
You're first year,
I'm
okay.
First year.
Don't be
No.
so modest.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see in the future if I can find the right people to show me what to do. And then I don't know. Right now, I'm unsure. If I'm being honest.
You're unsure,
Yeah.
okay. Pedro, you're going back to Portugal, I know that.
I am, but
You
I
admit
could definitely see myself living, particularly in Varaždin. Like,
Great.
I love that city.
No, you're
like,
local.
I don't
You're
want-
already a local patriot. That's great.
I mean, yeah, I guess I don't want it to be all about that city, but I do love that city, and I feel I should stay.
What do you see? Let's say 3 to 5 advantages. What are the greatest advantages of living in Varaždin, for instance? For you, what would be if you are
So,
when you
first
finish
of
your
all-
study, you're going to be an engineer, information technology
Yes.
engineer. Okay.
Yes.
So what would be the advantages of living in Varaždin in Croatia?
For me personally, I think it's just the right size. You know, it doesn't have too many people, and while at the same time you don't get lonely. You can find people if you want to find them. If you want to be secluded, you can also do that. And so that is for me one of the main advantages, like being able to manage the social life with everything else. Also, just like, and I see this because Varaždin is like outside of the young adult and old teenager, I guess, age range. It's people from all over Croatia and from all over the Slavic countries, and so I get to meet people with lots of different backgrounds, and I have yet to meet one uninteresting person. Though I don't believe that there are uninteresting people, but yeah, I keep meeting new and exciting people, and that is also a great thing. What else? What else is great about Varaždin? I think I have all I could ever wish for, you know, in this 1 kilometer radius centered around Corzo, which is the main square. You have everything you need. You have all the shops and you get to know everyone fairly quickly.
Yeah, you know, almost everybody. You mentioned that also in Zagreb is not such a large town. So when you go to gym, then in the morning, in the afternoon, you will meet somebody from the gym downtown,
in the
drinking in
center.
the.
It's crazy for me. Like, I'm from a place where you see people when you literally want to see them. But here it's very easy to run into people. It's beautiful. It's not crowded. It's not sparse either. That's what I was saying. Like, I don't like sparse. I came from a place where there's a lot of love all around, but still too crowded. So here it's not crowded. There's no traffic. Oh, that's something. Anybody who's from a country that's crowded, traffic, you come to Croatia, there's no traffic. I know Croatians say there's traffic, but 20 minutes is not traffic. 2 hours is traffic. 3 hours. So there's no traffic here. And now I want to visit Varaždin. Okay, just see, not live yet, not yet live, but I would like to see it.
It's a great city. I can't say enough good things about the city.
Great, see new experiences.
Great. What can we do better? You just said, okay, Katarina, you said I had a problem with the permit, but anything else? What can get better? So we have in Croatia around 88 courses which are taught in English right now. It's not a lot because we have 1,700 different courses on different universities. Then we had the administration that is in a kind of slow, maybe not so responsiveness. So what can we do better to attract those? I wrote down somewhere 10 to 15,000 foreign students to Croatia. How do we present Croatia? What do we say about how do we make a promotion? What do we do better in administration? What do you think about it? You were the one who were experiencing all the user experience that you can get.
Well, if not to touch a bureaucracy question, I would say, firstly, Croatia need more English language study programs, and also so the people, the students and the teachers would also speak English with students also in their free time. You know, this is also very important. Part of that, well, I don't know. I really like Croatia when I came here. I was not expecting that, but you know, I wouldn't change currently anything except bureaucracy. I'm really fine talking in English with people as well, so my experience was really great. I must say, you know, about the bureaucracy. So with international students, when they finish the university, they don't have then enough time to find a job after they finish the university and have a legal reason to stay in Croatia if they are not from European Union. This is very important because, for example, in Poland, students have 1 additional year to stay in the country to find a job. And that's why maybe many international students are leaving the country if they're not getting the job. This is important. You know, or you leave the country or you get married. And this is a joke actually, but you see, so people need or find a job or get married instantly. So they don't have time to, you know, look for the job after they finish the university.
That's really the important thing because I mentioned few weeks ago, Algebra has signed the contract with the University of London's Goldsmiths, and they were also talking about this possibility of staying in United Kingdom. They call it graduate route. So after you make a graduation, you can stay for up to 2 years, looking for the job or even finding experience and staying. Of course, they want to motivate people to stay in United Kingdom. Jago, what would you say? What can we do better? What can Croatia do better to attract young people here and keep that people here?
Well, if we've ruled out bureaucracy,
of course,
English, whatever, I would assume since you're looking for foreign students, Croatia has a little non-existent like foreign footprint anywhere else. For example, if you're in a high school somewhere, there's no promotion for anything Croatian. Like, no one knows about it. There's things from Germany, Netherlands, you get ads for it. Even if you're in Croatia, get ads for study in the Netherlands, you know. There's no, like, foreign projection of Croatian institutions. No one knows about it. That's why there's not a lot of students, because no one knows that it exists. If people know that there's an affordable European Union place to study, there would probably be a lot of more students here, but no one knows. That's the issue, I suppose.
But I suppose you have seen on CNN or any global broadcasting services, you have seen tourist board, Croatia is tourist country, come here and spend your holidays.
Yeah.
So you would suggest, okay, let's do something like that for attracting students also here.
Or at least make known Croatia's technical heritage, which is actually quite expansive, if that makes sense. Or have foreign agents in many different countries. For example, each Erasmus student, Ukraine, South Africa, Kenya, Portugal, all of them can be in some sense an agent or at least help establish foreign, not embassies obviously, but foreign institutions that can help promote Croatian education abroad, you know? Because you can't expect, like, I don't think there's going to be many foreign students watching Croatian television to find out about studying in Croatia. They would have to find out about it in their own. Here's my idea, if I were to give it.
Of course.
If you think about it, there's hundreds of millions of students worldwide, but there's only a couple 100,000 high schools, and even less of those which can afford to study abroad in Europe. So I suppose you can narrow down quite quickly which areas to target in terms of promotion. So if that's a message to the Croatian government, you should probably do that. You know?
Okay, great. And what we can use in a promotion? You just said that Croatia is considered as a technical, a country with a good technical background.
Yeah.
So we are always proud of our inventors.
Yeah.
And you were also mentioning something about that.
Oh, yes. Well, everyone knows the famous example of Nikola Tesla, but there's also a great naval history in Austria-Hungary, or in terms of aeronautical aviation, it's all there.
Speaking about torpedo, parachute, and things, all the inventions from the Croats coming.
It's most of it, and from my knowledge, I'm not sure about the rest of Croatian history, but for the Austro-Hungarian period, there were dominants in the naval and aeronautical sciences in terms of Croatia. So yeah, so it's fantastic.
Was it ringing the bell, Bridget, when you were choosing your destination? Did you hear that Nikola Tesla was born here, or that somebody invented the parachute in Croatia? No.
None of that.
Pedro,
For me, the best thing that for Croatia was...
Sorry.
No, go on.
I just said it's not advertised. I learned that Tesla was from here in Plitvice.
When you're here.
Nearby.
Yes. No, you're like here, and that's when you're like, because I used to live at Studenti Center, and there's a Nikola Tesla museum, and then I was like,
Why?
Where around here was he born for there to be so much of Nikola Tesla around, and everybody was like, oh, that's a crime. You don't know he's from here. You know, like nobody told me, like there's no promotion. Like when you're reading about Croatia, that's not the first thing that comes up. When you're reading about Croatia, you see Game of Thrones, then beaches, and that's it.
That's it. What can we do better? Bridget,
First
what can
of all,
we do
embassies.
better?
We need embassies. There's no reason for me to travel to a different country.
Or visa centers.
Yes,
Or digitalization.
Whatever works, as long as I don't have to leave my country to go to another country to apply for a visa to that country that I want to go to. I feel like that's too much bureaucracy. Second thing, like they were talking about amazing points, but like for me in my experience, I would have loved if there was a program. Algebra offers a program for Croatians to study English before they attend English courses so that they can improve their understandability. But for me, I would have loved if there was a course that was in English to translate to Croatian, like a Croatian learning course for me to learn Croatian from school. Like that I would have killed for. That would have been like my first class every morning. I would have loved it because the only things I knew how to say when I came here was dobar dan, dobro jutro, and 1 to 10. That's it. And I didn't know anything else. So when the word was changed from...
But now you know pola litre, mali macchiato, kratka loza.
Yes. See, I learned, but most of those things I learned like when I was working like at the bar. When somebody asked for može pepeliara, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Okay, am I allowed to say hell? Okay, yes. So I'm like asking for that, and okay, of course the curse words. And when you learn that somebody says, yeah, bito pichko materina is a bad thing.
Yeah, that's from the bar, but okay. So what can we do better? Let's go back to what can we do better.
Okay, back
and then
to
we
the
go
point.
to Pepeliara.
I think assimilation for us, I got here 2 days later, everything is done, everybody's on their way. I didn't even know how the way anything works around Zagreb, because I was telling you the best thing about coming here was diversity. Diversity is good, but sometimes we need directions, you know? So I didn't know how to do anything, like how to, even like boarding a tram, I didn't know where to insert the card. It's something so simple that I didn't know. The first cart is where you can insert the karta. Tramvaya karta. I didn't know that's where you could insert it. I didn't like something so simple, and I didn't know how to maneuver that. I can use Google Maps, but I cannot use the Google Maps if I don't know that tram 5 is gonna be here, and this is how I can use it. So it took me unnecessarily 3 months just to figure out exactly how things work, rather than having like a buddy system. It would be amazing. Like when I was coming here, that was one of the things I admired about algebra. They'd advertised a buddy system, but there was no buddy system I didn't get a buddy. Like somebody who could show me, this is how you do it. Like for me, he's from Lisbon. So he understands, like from what I understand, everybody tells me that most European countries are almost identical and similar, just a bit different. They're a bit different, but there's Old Town and New Town, and trams go like this and this way. So everybody knew, but I didn't have an idea. So assimilation would have been better.
Okay, so you say that it's a very interesting point of view to say when you come from Africa, then all the European cities are very look-alike, or they look alike. And from us from Europe, when you say...
Sorry.
But it's a great perspective. That's a great perspective. We have to speak about the whole world. Pedro, what can we do better?
Hrvoje.
I think we're almost done.
Leverage. I think you have a national treasure, and anyone who's remotely interested in the area of technology will know about Tesla and leverage that. I think anyone would like to come learn from the place he came from, you know?
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you all very much. It's 1 second and we are done right now.
Dan. Ja još imam i pitanje jedno za vas. A naši mladi gosti ovako i onako ostaju u Hrvatskoj, tako da ćete imati priliku pričati još s njima. Ovako, pitanje jedno. Može li algebra iskoristiti svoj utjecaj da olakša strancima koji žele studirati u Hrvatskoj rješavanje vize?
Pitanje je odlično. Pitanje za mene, da, apsolutno. Evo, nastavimo svim silama zajedno sa Fakultetom tehnike i računarstva, FOI-em i ostalim fakultetima u Hrvatskoj upravo na tome raditi. I u ponedjeljak prva sjednica GSV-a baš na tu temu kako studente lakše dobiti u Hrvatsku.
Super, hvala. Evo želim puno uspjeha našim dragim gostima.